Hi guys, welcome back to Breadman TV. I'm here in the Bronx, New York City. You guys around the world, I hope everybody's coping with this coronavirus pandemic that's really sweeping across the world right now. Where we are actually in somewhat of a quarantine in New York City right now. I know in Italy I hear that they're in full quarantine, and really this is affecting people around the world. And this times like this, I know one of my mantras, I always try to tell you to stay positive and you will be blessed. And really in times like this is when you really have to stay positive. You have to really look at the things that you should be thankful for right now in the midst of all this confusion and chaos. Really right now, a lot of people being quarantined, you're being forced to stay home with your families. That's not really a bad thing. Family is a good thing. I know that in different parts of the world, they actually have times throughout the day where you actually go home and spend time with your family, and it's been shown that it really helps the body, it helps the immune system, because you're really in that happy mode. And anybody that is in a really happy and good and positive mode, it's been proven that your immune system is stronger when you're depressed and you're in fear, like a lot of people are. And I'm trying to tell you this because really don't make fear be your best friend right now. Don't be afraid. Spend this time with your family. Really look at things that you should be thankful for. For this, I'm really going to step out right now real quick, and I'm going to show you something that's close by here that's kind of relating to what we're going through with this quarantine of COVID-19. There was a quarantine in the United States about 200 years ago for yellow fever, where they actually had to quarantine the United States president. That was John Adams at that time. But I'm just going to go to that location, and I'm going to fill you in on really that little piece of history. And hopefully that you'll take that little piece of history as a piece of bread from Breadman. All right, so I'll see you real quick. While we're waiting on the rest of the so I got a little piece of history that I'm going to hit you guys with. The history about this location that we're actually standing on. We're actually about down the block. We're going to walk down there, and I'm going to give you the real history about it. So come with me. Now, in the midst of this corona pandemic that's sweeping across the globe, I wanted to bring you onto a little piece of history that's right down the block from Fish and Things that I just showed you. This is the intersection of Connor Street and Boston Road. You know what this is? Now, the history of this intersection, we have to go back 200 years. 200 years, America was going through a similar pandemic that we were going through right now. It was called the pandemic of yellow fever. And during that time, yellow fever was going across the country, and we didn't have the utilities that we have right now to combat coronavirus, to combat that. So they had to really depend on quarantine, and they had to quarantine some of the most important people in the country. And the most important person in the country at that time was the president. The president in that time was John Adams. And John Adams was actually in Massachusetts during the outbreak of yellow fever en route to Pennsylvania. And it was communicated to him that he needed to quarantine himself. So he decided to stop by his daughter's farm, which is located in the Bronx. Actually, the farmhouse is located where this intersection is right now. So this is the piece of history. A lot of people that live in the Bronx probably come through this intersection and don't realize it, but during that time of the yellow fever outbreak, this area was a farm that was actually considered the White House of America. That's just a little piece of bread from Breadman.
Breadman, make myself your lively, is not a dead man.